Well, hey, good Sunday morning, everybody. It's Dave coming to you from the Wyoming house. Thought we'd do a Sunday morning chat. We're having a nice, kind of quiet, soft Sunday morning here, and I decided to share it with you. Anyway, I like the fireside chats, and it's nice, helps warm the house up. Sasha's out enjoying some snow, so I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna let you see what's happening out here this morning. It's about 26 degrees. It's about 9 a.m. maybe, and I just want to show you the snow, and I want to show you Sasha having some fun in it. So we'll come back after that.
Wow, check this out. Old man Winter coming back in with a vengeance today. Yeah, it's really starting to snow. So this is Sasha's second snow. She doesn't quite know what to do with it just yet.
All right, I want to do a blend review today. So pretty much the point of the video is to talk about Pipe Force Episode 3. Um, yeah, I know just what YouTube needs, another guy reviewing Episode 3, right? There's already 3 or 4 out there at least. But anyway, I want to throw mine in there. I like doing reviews for you guys. It makes me sharper, helps me improve how I smoke. So that's why I'm doing this today. Unfortunately, I guess I'm reviewing unobtainium again. I just looked before I came down to do this, and it looks like it's unavailable. So I don't know if they're going to make some more and put it back out, but I looked at 2 or 3 of the major sites, and they're all sold out. So maybe you can find it on one of the smaller sites, but it does, I feel bad. I don't like reviewing unobtainium blends, especially, the spoiler alert here is this is a pretty damn good blend as far as I'm concerned. So I kind of pre-apologize for doing this to you again. So the first thing we'll do is review what they say about themselves. So, and you can see they use that terrible, really thin print. So it's probably easier to read all magnified like this than it is on the tin itself. But here's what they write about themselves. Pipe Force Episode 3, a signature series by Per George Jensen. Stoved and Red Virginia give a naturally sweet, tangy, woody foundation. The hardy Retica leaf has been hot pressed and stoved for the first time. The process slightly tempers the bold tobacco and imparts a floral note, but still the robust character is not lost, bringing body to the smoke. A portion of Darkfire Kentucky then offers a mesquite spice to the mixture. So I basically take that to mean there's really only two ingredients in this thing. The Stoved in Red Virginia and then the Dark Fired Kentucky, both of which I like. So I was pretty excited to see this. I found out about this when I watched Idiots with Pipes. I like those guys a lot. I enjoy the channel. If you don't watch Idiots with Pipes, I would suggest it. It's pretty entertaining. And those two guys and I have developed a pretty good reputation. A really good reputation. God, there I go again. A good relationship, through the commenting. We've developed a bit of a friendship that way. So anyway, that's what it says about itself. And as I usually do, I try to say what our good friend Jim Inc. says. So I found his review on Pipe Smoker's Den. I didn't find it on tobacco reviews like I normally do. So as usual, it's pretty long, but I want to read you what Jimmy says about this. He wrote this on October 20th. The stoved and red Virginias provide an abundance of stewed fruit, tangy dark fruit, earth, wood, bread, sugar, some floralness, tart citrus, mild vegetation, spice, and a touch of vinegar as the lead components. I noticed the stoved Virginia a little more than the red Virginia. The stoved rustica offers plenty of earth, wood, sugar, floralness, vegetation, herbs, bread, stewed tart, and tangy citrus, some peat, spice, mild smoky barbecue, sour bitterness, light cigar, tea, nuts, and leather. It is an obvious supporting player. The Dark Fire Kentucky produces some earth, wood, smoke, floralness, vegetation, spice, herbs, sour sharpness, peat, mild barbecue, and nuts. It has a secondary support role. The strength, nick hit, and taste levels are almost full. Won't bite or get harsh. It has a few small, rough notes. The easily broken apart crumble cake slices are mildly moist, although I do not dry them as is my custom. Well balanced and deeply rich with some zesty savoriness. It burns cool, clean, and slow with a mostly consistent sweet, fruity, floral, spicy, mildly sour, herbal, nutty barbecue flavor that tends to the pleasantly lasting aftertaste. The room note is very pungent, leaves little dampness in the bowl, and requires some relights. Not an all-day smoke. I recommend a wide bowl for this blend. 4 stars out of 4. So that's what Jim has to say. So I've broken the seal on it, but when you open this, it's the traditional tin wrapping. But inside, when you open this up, it's kind of cool. They've added this, when in the military we call challenge coins, and everyone's got one. So I've opened one tin and I've smoked a few bowls. And this is the challenge coin that was in the first tin I opened. And here's the one I just opened now. I like these. These are pretty cool. I come from that world a little bit, and so that law enforcement DoD challenge coin is something I really enjoy. So it's kind of fun. There's apparently one in every 10. And it's got the traditional hockey puck on the top of everything. When you pull that off, there, they all stuck to it this time. So what you have inside of here is 3 slices of crumble cake. You can see all 3. They're fairly thick. It is moist enough that they stick together, and I mean really stick together. When I try to pull them apart, they usually break. I mean, usually I've done it one time on one tin, but as I try to break these apart, this is what happens. Normally you get like a piece off. So I've not been able to pull these apart, as individual slices. But it's a wonderful crumble cake, and it pulls apart quite nicely. It rubs out, and then it becomes beautiful for your pipe very, very quickly. In fact, so that's the tin I just opened today. The other tin I opened a couple days ago. And so what I did is I've gone ahead and rubbed them all, the remainder out. So what I've got now is just a nice rubbed out, and this is pipe ready. I don't dry it either. I did what Jim Inc. said. I don't dry it out. It is moist. It's tough to light at first, but once you get it lit, it's a wonderful smoke. So I guess the next thing we'll talk about is the tin note. I got that from lighting the fire. And it's a great tin note. If you like that dark, leathery tobacco with a hint of barbecue, that's what I get out of here. I don't get tangy. I don't get fruity. I get dark leather tobacco with a hint of barbecue. It's a wonderful tin note. I have to say, I love it. I love that end of the tobacco spectrum where there's not a lot of toppings or casings, where it's you get the actual tobacco smell, you get the actual tobacco taste. I love that dark fired leather that comes through, and then that little bit of barbecue that comes with it. Fabulous. But that's what I get: dark leather tobacco. I mean, dark leather barbecue tobacco smell. It's wonderful. But again, I don't have that more. I don't have a very delicate palate, so I'm a little bit of a gorilla orangutan when it comes to reviewing tobaccos. But that's what I get. Nice, simple 3-4 smells out of the tin. I find loading the pipe is quite easy. Once I've gotten it, once I've rubbed it out like I showed you, it just drops into the pipe nice and easy. I love that about crumble cakes. Once you get them broken apart, to me they're much easier than flakes. Anyway, I pack it light. Just literally a tap on this thing. I don't push down on it, and you just get a nice full bowl of rubbed out crumble cake. I love that. So putting flame to it, using my famous Bic lighters right now. For me, it takes a long time to light it and to get it lit well, and then you tamp it and relight it. But it takes a while for me to get it relit. So even after that, it's really not lit very well. I'm gonna do it off camera so you don't have to sit there and watch the most boring thing of me just putting flame to it. I'll be back in a minute. So it took me about 4 times what I just showed you on camera to get the char light actually going. So I think what Jimmy said about it's moist in the tin, it really is. But I have found that I don't need to dry it out. I just have to be patient, which I'm not good at. So I've done the char light and the relight, kind of a backup relight too, but it's burning well right now. What Jimmy said about it does take relights, I find that to be completely true. Until you're about 30-40% into the bowl, and then it seems to stabilize, and it's a really nice smooth burn from there on. I just think you got to get the tobacco to dry out a little bit in the bowl before it burns as smoothly as you would like it to, and kind of as unattended as we like. I'll tell you, the smoke is nice. It's a nice mouth-filling smoke. It's not a thin smoker like some tobaccos. That's true at this stage of the bowl, but it's truer as you burn through the bowl. It's really, it's a nice burner. It's a nice smoker. I like that mouth feel of the full smoking blends. I've said that on many of my reviews, like 4. But that's one of the characteristics that makes a blend good for me, is that good mouthfeel, that good, almost billowing smoke when you, if you chooch it a little bit. So mine, I've found that it does leave some moisture in the bowl. There's a slight gurgle to it right now, and that's because I smoked a bowl upstairs before I came down to do the fireside chat. So although Jim Ink says it really doesn't leave any moisture, I found that to be not quite true for me. Maybe it's my mouth, but I do feel like this blend does put some moisture into your bowl. So you can see that nice smoke that I'm talking about. I find it blends well or pairs well with black coffee. Um, I find this spectrum of our tobacco blends to be true no matter what blend. I mean, if you're doing a dark fired cherry or a burley morning pipe or a burlier morning pipe or this, it's the dark fired, the Virginias, the ones where you kind of get more of the natural flavor. I think those, for my mouth, they pair best with black coffee. So I make my cowboy coffee, and then as soon as it's done, I pour it in here. That way I don't have to keep the stove going, and I don't boil the coffee off. I find when I leave coffee on the burner for hours, it cooks off and really becomes something that's not pleasant to me. So I keep it here. This keeps it nice and warm, and it keeps it pretty much oven temperature for hours. And I can carry a whole thermos upstairs. I don't have to run up and downstairs every time I want a little bit more coffee. So cheers. And that black cowboy coffee is my favorite by far. So this is an example. It's still lit, but not lit great. So it's a little touch-up light as we go. Keeps the bowl burning really nice. Yeah, truly a fantastic pairing. So talk about the actual smoke for a minute. So being here alone, I really have no way to judge the room note. But I would suggest based on that fullness of the smoke, the room note, however it's judged, good, bad, indifferent, I don't think it's going to be judged as neutral because, it's with such a full smoke, it puts out a pretty good aroma. I mean, I certainly don't find anything but pleasure in the room note, but I'm the wrong guy to ask. I'm the smoker. I have a feeling my wife or a non-smoker sitting here probably would give it more of a thumbs down on the room note. It's not sweet. It puts out no vanilla, no cherry, no sweetness. It puts out tobacco. I have a feeling that dark tobacco, that dark fired tobacco, the leathery smell, probably none of that is going to be considered very positive by a non-smoker. I enjoy it, and the guys down on the lounge side, it was fine. But no one said how great it was. Like when I smoke, Warped Scarecrow, everyone's like, "Oh my god, what the hell are you smoking?" Or if I smoke Boswell's Cherry Vanilla, everyone asks what I'm smoking. So they really didn't hear. They didn't really ask. So I was feeling it was not offensive, but it wasn't it wasn't positive like they had to ask like, "What is that?" So that's my thoughts on the room note. So I totally agree with Jim Inks on that. This is it doesn't bite. There's no tongue bite associated with it. It's not harsh in any way. It's a very pleasant smoke. It's a great bowl. The thing I would disagree with Jim Inks on is I do think this is an all day smoke. I can smoke 3 or 4 bowls in a row. I mean, like literally 3, 4, 5 hours of smoking it, and the pleasure doesn't decrease. The tongue bite doesn't appear. I find it to be a great. I don't know what you consider an all day smoke. I don't smoke 10 or 12 hours, but I can put 4 bowls together, an hour each, and with little gaps in between, gets you to 5 or 6 hours. And I've done that a couple days in a row, and I got to tell you, it holds up all day long with really no negatives in my opinion. So it is an all day smoke. The other thing I find hard to comment on is Jim's comment that you need a wide bowl because This is about the only pipe I smoke here in Wyoming. So it's a big bowl, it's a deep bowl, it's a wide bowl, and it does smoke beautifully in this pipe. But I find most blends smoke beautifully in this pipe. So I really can't tell you if you went with a small pipe, a sampler pipe, um, the 15 or 20-minute pipe. I don't know what you would find if you did it in that kind of bowl, but I certainly, this pipe, it works really well in. I think the last thing we'll talk about is the actual taste, the actual, you know, um, experience of smoking this blend. I get almost none of the what Jim gets, as usual, right? His palate is 1,000 times better than mine. I'd say the overwhelming, the forward flavor is just tobacco, just natural, unadulterated tobacco. It's a little bit dark, it's a little bit bold, it's a little bit in your face. I like that. I like that in my cigars, I like that in my pipe tobaccos. Supported by that or second to that then would be all the other flavors that do come through for me, which is that a little bit of leather, uh, gosh, there's a slight tanginess to it, but just that dark fired flavor, the tobacco flavor, the little bit hint of barbecue, a hint of tangy, and that's it. That's my palate ends there. So that's really, it's kind of like my 10 note. I can only pick up about 3 or 4 things, and then my mouth gives up. But it's very natural tobacco forward with the hints of tobacco, with the hints of barbecue and tangy and dark fired coming right behind it. So that's really it. That's about all I can tell you for how it tastes in the mouth. Yes, that's really the end of the review. 2 thumbs up. My mouth likes it. Whatever scale the orangutans use, that's what I'd give it. Definitely. I told you I did my 10 tenner, so I've got these 2 that are open, so I'll smoke them out now that I've opened them. But I'll leave the other 8 put back in the cellar here in Wyoming for a while. If I could find it, I would do a 10 tenner for the Maryland cellar as well, but that's not going to happen. If I do happen to find it somewhere, I'll get right back online and tell you where I found it, but right now I can't find it. Pipe Force 3, 2 thumbs up. My mouth likes it. It's a great blend if you can find it, you guys. That's it. Talk to you on the next video, guys. Bye now.